Where are we going? Where are we going? Take us somewhere fun.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Alex, can you hear Jamie?
Yeah, I can hear her now.
Oh. I feel so short. Let me stand up. I'm a shorty.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's good. Jamie, where are we going? Grocery store?
Hi.
Hey,
We actually just came over to our friend's house for a little St. Patrick's Day. So I'm just sitting in the car for quiet.
Oh, I see you have your green on. Oh my God, the Andersons.
I do.
I'm in completely. We're having Italian at my house.
Italian.
We are. Mark's whipping up the turkey meat and spaghetti. So I'm gonna go on mute. And this is Alex Donovan, and he came in first to have this opportunity, Jamie, to Zoom with you. Big fan, and he and I were just getting acquainted. But I'm gonna give you those 15 minutes of glory without my face on the screen, and you guys just have a lovely time. And I'll pop in when it's time. And
awesome.
Just have a good time. And thanks again for your donation, Alex, and your donation of your time, Jamie.
Of course.
Okay, thanks. Okay, you guys are on.
Hey,
all right,
Jamie.
I'm not seeing. Oh, there he is. Hey there.
How are you, Jamie?
I'm well. Good to see you. You're such a great supporter of us and everybody at Fox.
No, happy to support you guys out. You guys always do a tremendous job, and I always love watching you guys on Fox.
Oh, well, thank you. So what do you think of the racing so far this year?
It's definitely been a real surprise, and I guess I could sum up this year in a nutshell, where it's been a huge surprise. A lot of winners that you definitely wouldn't have expected otherwise, especially William Byron here.
Nice. Yeah, I like the shirt. And honestly, I think that his paint scheme is my favorite of anybody. I love the Rainbow Warriors. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. Being a Jeff Gordon fan, I absolutely enjoyed the Rainbow Warrior. I call it Rainbow Warrior 2.0 basically, but I like it. It's a really nice paint scheme.
Yeah, I like that. I think Jeff's into it too. I think he likes what William's doing, trying to bring that back a little bit.
Definitely gives it a futuristic look, which I like, and gives it his own perspective.
Right. Yeah, their own spin on it. And I love that he backs it 100%. You know, I think it takes a special guy to be cool with that, because I think a lot of drivers would be like, that car is just, it's too bright and too flamboyant for me. So tell me how you got involved in racing.
I mean, I guess my brother, who's a little bit younger than me, kind of got me into it at about the mid 2000s. So about a decade and a half now I've been watching it, and started out as a Jeff Gordon fan, supporting all the Hendrick drivers, and that's pretty much how I got hooked onto it. It's just amazing to watch the cars and the strategy that takes place in order to win these races.
Absolutely. So have you done any iRacing or anything like that?
I haven't. I know my younger brother has before. So I'm not sure how into it he is lately, because I know he's been pretty busy too with his work, but I know he used to do that at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how those guys do it. It is so much harder than it looks. So are you planning on going to any races this year?
We'll see. The one that really caught my eye was when Road America got onto the Cup Series circuit. We went there a few years ago for the IndyCar race, and that was a whole lot of fun. In my opinion, I thought that was a lot better than an Indy 500 race that we actually went to back in 2008. So
nice.
Looking forward to hopefully maybe going 4th of July with my folks and my brother and see the Cup guys in action.
Oh, it'd be so good. I got to cover the Xfinity race there for a lot of years. And I just love it up there. That town, that little town, and the lakes up there. And then the track, the high speeds. And it's just so entertaining, I think. I've always wanted to see the Cup cars. So I'm thrilled that somehow they made it work.
Yeah, I am too. That made me happy as a local boy. So now I finally get a chance to maybe see the Cup cars in action, which would be awesome.
So you said you're a local boy. How far away do you live from there?
I live in Sheboygan, which is not too far away from the track itself. I'd say about maybe no more than a 20-minute drive, I think.
Oh, wow. I bet you guys are excited to have Cup there. That's good for the town too, the economy around there.
Definitely.
That's awesome. So are there any other tracks or races that you're really looking forward to this year that are new?
Not as far as going to, but there's several other ones that are interesting that I haven't heard of before. Like I know Nashville, they used to do Xfinity races there before, and so that'll be interesting. And then the one down in Texas, I forgot what that one was called, but that one will be an interesting one.
Coda, yeah, the Circuit of the Americas.
Yep, that one.
Yeah, so funny. I've never been to an auto race there, but I went there covering X Games. My last X Games, I think it was 2015. We had, they had all the events there. They had rallycross there and that I covered, and then freestyle motocross. And it was incredible. It's kind of outside of town, but I remember Austin being such an amazing town. It was fun. It's really hip and trendy, awesome food. And the speed limit is very high around that town. So those are the things that I take away from that racetrack.
Well, you know what they say, everything's big in Texas.
Oh my gosh, it is. So I think it's interesting. We're going to have the All-Star race, at Texas Motor Speedway. So that'll be interesting to spice it up. No points on the line. That's always fun.
Oh yeah. And then having the Bristol dirt track is going to be really interesting too. I've already seen some of the cup regulars are wanting to participate in the truck race too. So that'll be interesting.
Yes, I am excited. They keep adding names. They added Kyle Larson today. I'll be covering that truck race, and then we have heat races. So it's going to be a whole new deal for me.
But that'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be wild because all these cup guys who are the best drivers in the world, there's going to be a lot that are going to be looking like amateurs, I think, out there, don't you?
I think so, because most of them probably are not used to the dirt tracks, and I've seen a couple of dirt track races. In fact, Tony Stewart happened to be in one that was up on my stomping ground a couple of years ago. So that'll be interesting to see how they react to that and respond to that.
I wish Tony would come out and just be like, you know what, guys, I'm going to go racing, whether it's a truck or a cup car. That would be fun, right?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I think it's going to be so different than any of them, expect or what they've ever been used to. I was talking to Kyle Larson on Sunday, and he was saying it's just, they have dirt backgrounds, so maybe they'll be more comfortable with the car kind of getting loose and the back end being kicked out. But he said there's going to be spins everywhere. It's going to be wild, but I think it'll be entertaining.
I think so. And then especially when you get that dynamic duel of Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer on the call, that'll make it even more entertaining. Those two have been absolutely a joy to watch together this season.
Yes, I'm glad you like it. I haven't heard one person say they don't like it. I think, Boyer, we knew what we were getting with him, right? But
Yeah.
I think he's really livened Jeff up, don't you?
Yeah, that's what my brother keeps saying when we text each other back and forth during the races. I mean, Jeff does a good job talking about the race, but Clint livens it up, and he also does a good job giving his insight too.
Yeah, and he's really into it because when you get to work with former drivers or current drivers, whatever, it's interesting to see if they take it seriously or not. Because like a lot of drivers we get in Xfinity, they don't have time to do the research, but they jump up there and they talk about what they know. Well, then you get guys that all of a sudden they're getting paid to do it and they're not a driver anymore. So it's fun to watch them adapt to it. And the things that they hated as drivers, like caution flags, fights, wrecks, they suddenly love those things when they're broadcasters.
That's what Jeff Gordon mentioned too. From at the end of his speech in 2015, he's like, all those things I hated, I'm going to be enjoying that the next year.
That's exactly right. And Clint's already saying stuff like that. It's so funny to see them take off that racing hat and then all of a sudden understand what's entertaining from the booth.
And speaking of the booth, I watched your ARCA racing debut, and I thought you did a fantastic job. And I'm glad that you're the first woman to ever call racing, because you set a blazing trail. You do a really good job, and you follow the sport just about as well as anybody that I can think of. So if anybody was going to do it, I'm glad it's you, and you did a really good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And I appreciate your texts after that, or I always see your tweets, I should say, after those moments. But yeah, I have 7 more to go. Unfortunately, I had such a big gap from my first one to my second one, which will be Talladega at the end of April. But it was so different, different perspective. It was really, really fun just getting to call a whole race. There's a lot of nuances, things that I don't have to worry about as a pit reporter that you suddenly have to in the booth. But it was so much fun, and it being Daytona, the biggest race for all of those young drivers and older drivers. It's such a cool mix.
No, definitely. And I think you'll continue to do a really good job and set a trail for others to follow. And I think, especially with it being Women's History Month, I think that's something that we should cherish, not just for this day or this month, but going forward, because I feel like women
Oh,
should be given as equal an opportunity, if not a better opportunity than men. Because there's some women that deserve to do this. And as long as they follow their passion, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
well, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know why it's taken so long. Racing's been around 130 something years. But it just takes that first person to break through, I think, and break that glass ceiling. And many women have done it all over the place in this world in different roles and, different broadcasts and all of that. But to get to do it, to be that one, you want to succeed because you want to set a good example that we are here, we should be here, and we're capable. But now there's no going back. And I think that's the cool part. Okay, I did it. I've shown other women that it can be done. I've shown other executives it can be done. So now when the next woman is in line, say yes and give her a chance.
Definitely. And I think
Yeah.
it would be interesting too, then if you can get other women, like maybe you could do because I know the NHL did this last year around this time where they had an all female broadcast. Maybe at some point we get to that row where it's like that's where we can go. And as long as they have a passion for it, they know it well. And again, nobody knows the racing better than you in my book. And so I feel like that could be a potential down the road where we can have all female crews and show that they're just as good, if not better than men.
Well, thank you. That's nice to hear that from a guy. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to that point, but we were sure close at the ARCA race between me and then we had Kate Osborne and Jamie Howe on pit road. And then we had a female producer, Pam Miller. So yeah, we just need to get like Haley Deegan up there with me in the booth and we'd be set. I mean, I'm sure it's not that far off.
Or even your buddy Shannon Spake too. You two are like a 1-2 punch, and I absolutely admire what she does too.
She's my partner in crime, that girl.
Yep.
Yeah, we started doing this together in 2007. So it's crazy how it's all turned. I left ESPN. She was covering football and basketball, and then she came back to Fox, I think 2 years after I was there. And now we get to do some broadcasts where we're together.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool, especially with you two together, because I always appreciate you. And like I mentioned in my tweets, you two are like the two best in the Fox personalities that I've seen for the NASCAR on Fox crew. I think you two are like two of my favorites in my book.
Oh, thank you. I think Fox does a great job. Just, Fox, even when I was at ESPN, I always looked at Fox as like the fun group. They always have fun. They have personalities. They let their people really be themselves. And coming over here, that's absolutely, they look for people that shine through and have a personality and they're comfortable in their skin and showing it when they broadcast. And they've done that with a lot of women across the board, all different sports. So I definitely commend them. And obviously, if they didn't say yes and give me a shot at play-by-play, we'd still be where we always have been, where no woman is gone. So.
And then I also watched your new hit on Netflix with Kevin James, The Crew, which I absolutely enjoyed. I thought you and your cameo appearances did a really good job, pretty much just like you do with everything else. But I thought the show as a whole was really good. I've watched The Ranch too, and I felt like The Crew was kind of racing's version of The Ranch in a way. And that was another good Netflix show that I've enjoyed. So I thought this one was pretty good.
Okay, I'll have to watch that other one. I've never seen that one.
I think you'll like it. If you're into That 70s Show, which is another good show, The Ranch
Right.
is kind of like that per se. And then I think The Crew kind of takes it from The Ranch's perspective, only it's not with The Ranch, it's with racing. But I still thought it was a good show.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin James is hilarious. And the writers of that show are huge NASCAR fans, which is why they wrote it. So they were stoked. When I was there, they were just like, it was so cool because, I'm out of my element in a Hollywood type of scene. And these guys were like, oh my gosh, we have real people from NASCAR, they're not actors. So they were so excited to have Austin Dillon and Cole Custer in there and Blaney. They loved Blaney. So I haven't heard yet, but hopefully there's going to be a season 2.
I hope so too, because you guys deserve another chance. I think that show is good enough to at least get you another season.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's good for our sport. I think people
Definitely.
wanted to hate on it at first, and then they watched it and they're like, actually, it was pretty good. So
And
that's all
now
we
you're
can
even
ask
getting,
for.
yeah, now you're getting even some of the NFL athletes, because I've seen them on my Twitter feeds too, that they're starting to get into racing. And I think that's really cool that you're seeing these other athletes come in and try to support NASCAR. Then having Michael Jordan, which is like one of the biggest names you can get out there in the sports world, to have him join and co-own a team, I think that's huge for racing. I think that's going to allow it to expand its market a bit.
You're exactly right. Spot on. I think that we're in a whole new element this year, and a lot of eyes are on our sport that maybe weren't on our sport before. And Michael Jordan, Bubba, there's a lot of people that can be credited with helping that. But NASCAR is the top, and they're welcoming to everyone. And I think we're in a really great place. So I want to continue seeing all these other sports and new eyeballs watching us. It's good for everybody.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, Alex, thank you so much for doing this, for spending the money on this, and for always being so kind and positive. It's really nice to see.
And thank you for taking time to do this, Jamie. I mean, that means a lot to me. That shows how kind and caring that you are, that you're willing to take time to have this discussion. And it was a really good one. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. And I know Paulette was recording it, so you'll get to have it,
It was great.
Oh, perfect.
Terrific. You guys were great together. I enjoyed it.
I know. Well, he's so knowledgeable.
He really is. He's very well spoken. The both of you, it was great. Thanks for making my day. So, all right, Jamie, enjoy your
Aw.
session with your beautiful family. Alex, such a pleasure to meet you. I'm sure I'll talk to you again. And everyone
Sounds good. It's nice meeting you.
everyone stay safe, okay?
You
All
as
right.
well.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Alex.
Bye.
Bye.